Hello and welcome. My name is Ian. I'm Handyman plus Van. Well, there's only one of me, and I am the sole trader of Handyman plus Van in Swindon. And today, the sun is a little bit out there. Not much, but just a little bit, which is always good. I like it. So I get a lot of questions from customers, the same sort of questions. And so I just wanted to cover a few of them. So what are the common jobs that I do? Is probably putting up curtains and shelves. I'd say those are the two most common things that I do on a day-to-day basis. I also sort of custom make shelving systems for those little nooks and crannies that you have, like shoe storage. Obviously depends on sort of what price point you have. But if you wanted a really bespoke top end, I can do those things. But you're looking at thousands and it's because they take so long to do. It's not just a case of putting them in, but in 3 hours I went to a customer's house and I put in a shelving system into a small little downstairs cupboard just to store some shoes and some bits and pieces. I think there's about nine or 10 small little shelves that I just put up. And also cut to size as well, because I had to, and I've cut them out of plywood. So it was about £30 in parts and about it was £103 and 50p for 3 hours of my time. So that was always good. What else have I been up to? I've been up to a lot of things. Building bathrooms. I've done quite a few recently. One, I had to reinforce part of the flooring because where the leak had been going for some time, the floorboard itself had gone, and then the ceiling below also had gone as well. So I do plasterboarding where you're repairing bits and pieces. So it's if someone's got a plasterboard that's gone, or then I can reboard it and reskim it. I'm not a plasterer by trade, so do I get the same or equivalent as a plasterer? No. Do I get a half decent job? Yeah, I do. To be completely transparent. Wallpapering, that's another common thing that I do. Laying flooring, laying carpets, generally no. I don't do those things. And the reason for that is that when you go to any carpet company, is that they always price in the labor when they're selling the carpet itself, and I can't compete with their labor costs. So it's generally something that someone else would do. But I've done flooring for lots of bathrooms that I've built. Because it's easier if I just put the flooring down myself. It's always easier if you put the flooring down first and then build on top of it, because that way you get a stronger structure. Especially if you're doing a kitchen, you should always start with the floor. There's a lot of sort of times when you've got customers that want to retrofit something, and then that's when it becomes more expensive and more complicated. Whenever you're retrofitting anything, including locks as well. So if you've got an old lock and you're trying to find a part to fit that lock, it's always a lot harder. Again, it's something that I do. So fitting door locks, especially front door locks. So there's a lot of sort of front doors that go out of alignment, and I go around to customers' houses and I just realign them. It's normally a 5 to 10 minute job. Now I know a locksmith, they charge hundreds for jobs like that. Me, I just walk around the house and just go tweak, and then it's all lined up and done. So you've also got the hinges for the windows. I replace those. So the UPVC, the plastic windows with the hinges, I replace those, and then also realign them if they need realignment sometimes. Also, you have the locking mechanism inside the windows. I do a lot of sort of replacements of those. So a customer would just make a list of all the jobs that they want me to do, and then I wander around and then just fix them and do them. Sometimes customers want me to do gardening work. I don't touch gardening work. There's lots of really good gardeners out there. Yeah, I'm happy to sort of recommend them. Yeah, so Flat roofing, I do sort of like sort of find and repair faults. The investigation, I don't do that for free. You know, if you want me to investigate where a hole is in your flat roof, one, it's quite challenging to find the hole, and two, you have to use very expensive, depending on what type of roof it is, there's different ways of repairing them, and the materials themselves are not cheap. So yes, you can employ me on an hourly basis and book me in, but when I turn up, I'll be like, okay, it's going to be like X number to buy this stuff to then fix it, and it might not be something that I can do that the same day if I can't get hold of the bits, which generally I can do. So if customers need parts for anything, when I turn up to a job, it's just a case of say I'm fitting a bathroom sink, and there's parts that are needed on that sink, and a customer will like, okay, I'll just say to the customer, well, I just need to go and get this part. It's going to take me 20 minutes. And Toolstation are brilliant. You know, you can actually place an order, pick up the part, and then you're in there, grab it, and then you're gone. And if I need any parts, I always ask the customer first. I say, look, we're going to need this much, is that okay? The customer gives me a verbal response of yes, that's fine. I will then invoice them for those parts after the hours have expired. So if they've employed me for 3 hours, I'll then send them an invoice via PayPal to sort of get paid for those parts. And yeah, I suck up the PayPal admin fee as well. So you're probably thinking to yourself, oh gosh, so if the parts are like 40 quid, I charge the customer 40 quid, but then I have to pay an admin fee to PayPal, which is a couple of quid. But I suck that up. You know, I suck it up, buttercup, because it's all about having happy customers and just a good rapport with them. And that's why I'm always busy. That's why I've always got lots of customers. And it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. You know, you definitely are the energy that you give out in this world. You know, I hear lots of stories from customers about different traders that they've had out, and all of the traders are making the same mistake. They're either not qualified to do the job and they have a go and it goes wrong, and then they're in a mess because, you know, you have to suck it up. You have to pay for those losses. You know, if it was me and I made a genuine mistake and did anything, then obviously I've got insurance. Everything's covered. You know, the customer doesn't have to worry. And that's how it should be. Yeah, I mean, I don't obviously do emergency call outs, but all of my communication is done through WhatsApp, and it's all recorded through that. So customers want to like phone me and speak to me. I don't have the time to speak to customers, and I don't prefer it. I prefer having everything in writing, so that you know, because I deal with so many customers, it's not physically possible for me to memorize everything. I have an AI robot to do all of that, and it does a wonderful job. You know, it's you know, we can only, because of the way the UK government sets up things, you can only memorize things for so long. As a business, you can only keep customers' details for like 6 months is the maximum that I keep them for. So if you've messaged me 6 months ago and you're like, oh, you gave me a quote for this, I'll be like, what quote? Send me the details again, I'll re-quote you. And to be honest, if it's older than 6 months, it's, you know, the prices would have changed anyway. So what else is there? What else do I get asked? Or would I travel outside of Swindon? That's probably the most common one. Generally, no. I've got so much work in Swindon. Not to mention, like, for example, if something goes wrong on a job and you've done the job, say, in Timbuktu, you've got to travel to Timbuktu to then go and rectify that job for free. And that's not cool. So that's why I keep my trade in Swindon, and I only advertise in Swindon, and I don't go outside of Swindon. I do have customers begging me, please, Occasionally I have gone outside of Swindon for very close friends and family, but that's it. I don't do it for anybody else. I'm sorry. Not for paying customers. For paying customers, unfortunately, it's Swindon only. But that does cover, the sort of outskirts of Swindon. But it doesn't go like that far outside of Swindon, like Purton, Highworth, Wroughton are like the edges of my boundary. That's as far as I go. And if you sort of want to know, then you can like message me. But generally, it's like 10 miles from the centre of Swindon. That's the sort of operating distance that I do. Mainly because when I finish one job at 12 o'clock, I've then got to travel across town to get to the other job for 1 o'clock. So as long as I've got enough time to do that, then I'm happy to do that. I have worked in Farringdon before, but I've done an all day thing. So the customers booked me in for the morning and the afternoon, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, you can do that. But I'm not going to do like Farringdon in the morning and then Wroughton in the afternoon. I wouldn't make that distance. I wouldn't be able to have lunch and then make it across town. So it's all about practicality. And obviously if I need to retool or get anything, it pushes it out. So it gets harder to do. So yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything. So yeah, I mean, the basics are, if you've got something, you can either book me in on an hourly basis, which is per hour, so it's not guaranteed to get the work done, or you can reach out and get a quote. So if you want a quote, do it through WhatsApp. Everything is done through WhatsApp now. I used to say WhatsApp and emails, but I just can't keep up with the emails. So the best way to contact me is just through WhatsApp only, which is good. Because it just keeps everything in one place. Because I'm a one-man band, so I don't have the ability to sort of message people on various different platforms across different sort of, because I'm on X and Facebook and Nextdoor, and I mean, you name a platform, I'm probably on it advertising myself, which is beautiful. So yeah, what is my top skill? My top skill is probably being able to do really good mastic, otherwise known as silicon sealant. I'm very good at silicon sealanting things and masketing things, because you can buy that stuff from China which doesn't work, and that's sort of like, there's like a tape, and then people tape it around their bath. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So people sometimes employ me just to like go around their house, like taking the old stuff off and putting new stuff in. And yeah, I love that. It's good. I love the smell of mastic. Anyway, if you do have any questions or anything like that, leave a comment below this video and I'll try and get back to you guys. But have a beautiful day. Take care. And I do get a lot of questions from sort of fellow traders in various different trades, sort of asking me sort of like how I started, what I'm doing, and it's surprising how much you actually know without realizing because when you do these things, you kind of have to do them, and you don't realize that you know as much as what you do know, which is always beautiful. So happy to share and help other people out, because it's sort of just, it only sort of adds to like other people helping me out, because no one's independent. We all need the bin men, God bless them, and they do a fantastic job. And we all need doctors and nurses because they do a fantastic job. We all need each other to sort of get along in society. And the reason our society is so great is because we all do work together, like little worker ants. So on that note, have a beautiful day. And if you can be anything, be kind.